Have you ever looked at your bank account and thought, who did this? Was it me? Surely not me. You scroll through your recent transactions and there it is. A charge for something you don't even remember wanting that badly. It's that weirdly expensive candle that smells like an abandoned library. It's that limited edition Funko Pop of a character from a show you watched for just 10 minutes. It's that air fryer you swore would change your life, but now it's just a giant Cyclops-looking egg taking up counter space. This feeling, my friends, is the buyer's remorse hangover. It's a special kind of pain, a mix of shame, regret, and the quiet realization that you can't, in fact, eat instant noodles for the rest of the month. This isn't some rare exotic disease. It's an epidemic. We've all been there. You walk into a store, maybe you're just browsing, killing time, you're not looking for anything specific, but then something catches your eye. It's shiny, it's new. The marketing copy on the box speaks directly to your soul. Suddenly, a voice in your head, which sounds suspiciously like a late-night infomercial host, screams, "You need this! This will solve all your problems!" You're caught in the whirlwind. Before you know it, you're tapping your card, walking out with a bag, and feeling a temporary, fleeting high. A high that wears off faster than the free sample of cheese you had by the deli counter. The aftermath is always the same. So, where do these bad decisions happen? They happen in what I call the impulse zone. It's not a physical place on a map. It's a state of mind, and it has many, many locations. First up, the master of the impulse zone, the online shopping cart. You're up late. It's 2 a.m. You open your laptop. You're just going to look. 2 hours later, your cart is filled with a self-stirring mug, a subscription box for artisanal pickles, a pair of pants you're not even sure are for humans. The internet is a lawless wasteland of temptation. There's no friction. It's just too easy. Then there's the classic impulse zone, the checkout line. You've done the hard work. You've navigated the entire grocery store, sticking to your list. You feel like a champion of self-control. But then you get to the checkout. And what's there? A minefield. Candy bars, magazines with clickbait headlines, tiny overpriced gadgets, lip balm, batteries. It's all there, right at eye level, whispering, "Go on, you deserve a little treat." They know you're tired. They know you're bored. They know your willpower is at its lowest point. That little pack of gum turns into a $15 detour you never planned. Another prime location for impulse buys is the big sale event, Black Friday, Prime Day, end-of-season clearance. These events create a sense of urgency, manufactured scarcity. So why do we feel so bad after these shopping sprees? It's not just about the money. There's some real brain science going on here. It's honestly pretty fascinating. When you see something you want, your brain releases a chemical called dopamine. This is the feel-good neurotransmitter. It's associated with pleasure. It's associated with reward. It's associated with motivation. Same chemical gets released when you eat delicious food, when you get a compliment, or when you do other fun things. Your brain sees that shiny new object and says, "Ooh, I want that reward." It's a primal, powerful urge that's hard to ignore. It's basically your brain's hype man, cheering you on. The problem is this dopamine hit is all about anticipation, not the reward itself. The biggest rush comes from the hunt, the thrill of finding the deal, the excitement of adding it to your cart, the little adrenaline spike you get as you click complete purchase. Your brain is flooded with pleasure chemicals, and for a moment, everything feels great. You feel powerful. You feel successful. You've acquired something. This is the peak of the experience. It's a short-lived, intense high. You're basically a hunter-gatherer, but instead of a spear, you have a credit card. So, how do you beat the system? How do you give your rational brain a fighting chance against your impulse-driven lizard brain? I want you to meet your new best friend. It's simple, it's free, and it's incredibly powerful. It's called the 24-hour rule. The concept is so easy it almost feels like cheating. Whenever you feel the urge to make a non-essential purchase, you stop. You don't buy it. You force yourself to wait a full 24 hours. That's it. The whole rule. No complex spreadsheets. No weird budgeting apps. Just a simple pause. That 24-hour waiting period is a cooling-off period for your brain. It lets the initial dopamine rush fade. The "I need this now" feeling is a chemical reaction. Like any chemical reaction, it has a half-life. It naturally gets weaker over time. Waiting a day lets your brain chemistry return to normal. You take the emotion out of the equation. Okay, so let's talk about how this actually works in the real world. Imagine you're just scrolling through Instagram, right? Suddenly an ad pops up for this really cool-looking high-tech backpack. It's got a solar panel for charging your phone, like a million secret compartments. And apparently it's made from recycled space junk or something wild like that. The ad shows a super attractive person hiking up a mountain with it, looking all adventurous. Instantly you start thinking, I need that backpack. My current backpack is just a pathetic cloth sack. This new backpack will make me an adventurous, organized person. Your finger is literally hovering over the Buy Now button. But then you remember the 24-hour rule. So instead of buying it right away, you take a screenshot. Or maybe you bookmark the page. You close the app and just go about your day. You go to work. You make dinner. You watch some TV. Just normal stuff. The next day, you look at the picture of the backpack again. And now you're thinking about your actual life. You don't hike up mountains. You take the subway to work. You realize, honestly, you don't need a solar panel because you're always near an outlet. What you really need is just something to hold your laptop, your lunch, and maybe a book or two. That $250 super backpack? Yeah, it's total overkill. And you just saved yourself $250. The rule totally worked. You saw through the marketing fantasy to your own reality. Okay, so the theory is great, but how do you make this a habit? How do you build the 24-hour rule into your daily routine? Let's break it down into simple, actionable steps. The first and most important step is to create a waiting list. This doesn't have to be anything fancy. A note in your phone, a page in a journal, a sticky note on your fridge. When you see something you want to buy online, instead of adding it to your cart, add it to your waiting list. Write down what the item is, where you saw it, how much it costs. This simple act of writing it down satisfies that initial urge to do something about the item. The Add to Cart button is a trap. Instead of the cart, use Save for Later wish list. This is your digital waiting list. It keeps the item in sight, but doesn't push you toward checkout. Nothing sits in your actual shopping cart for more than a few minutes. For in-person shopping, the strategy is different. Practice the art of walking away. When you feel that impulse buy coming on, your line is simple. I'm going to think about it. Then, physically, leave the store. You'll be shocked how rarely you make that return trip. Waiting 24 hours can feel like an eternity, especially when that dopamine craving is fresh. Your brain will try to trick you. It will come up with all sorts of justifications for why you should buy now. It's the last one. The sale ends tonight. You deserve it. You need tricks to win this waiting game and make it through 24 hours. One of the best tricks is the calculate the hours method. Look at the price, then calculate how many hours you must work for it. Say you make $20 an hour after taxes. You see headphones for $100? Those headphones equal 5 hours of work. Now the question changes. Are these headphones worth 5 hours of my time? Another strategy. Shop your own closet. When you want something new, look at what you already own. You'll likely find something you forgot or haven't worn in a while. Finding an old favorite feels almost as good as buying something, but free. Finally, use distraction as your secret weapon. The urge is just a feeling. Feelings pass. When craving hits, do something else to occupy your mind. So you start using the 24-hour rule. What actually happens? The most obvious benefit, of course, is that you save a ton of money. Think about all those small, impulsive purchases. They add up, fast. By cutting out even a few of these a month, you're looking at hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars saved over the course of a year. That's real money that can be used for things that actually matter. It can go toward paying off debt, building an emergency fund, saving for a vacation, or investing in your future. But the benefits go way beyond just the money. The 24-hour rule helps you declutter your life, both physically and mentally. Every item you bring into your home takes up space. It's one more thing to clean, organize, eventually get rid of. By being more intentional with your purchases, you ensure that the things you own are things you genuinely want and need. This simple rule also has a profound psychological benefit. It empowers you. It puts you back in the driver's seat of your own financial life. Instead of being a passive consumer, reacting to ads and chasing fleeting dopamine hits, you become an active, conscious decision maker. You learn to control your impulses rather than letting them control you. This sense of self-control is incredibly rewarding. You're no longer a victim of marketing. You are the curator of your own life. Ultimately, the 24-hour rule helps you align your spending with your values. It's not about deprivation. It's about intentionality. So, here we are. We've journeyed through the dark alleys of buyer's remorse, we've exposed the psychological tricks of the impulse zone, and we've unveiled the simple, elegant power of the 24-hour rule. The knowledge is now yours. But knowledge without action is just trivia. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to put this rule into practice, starting today, starting right now. I'm not asking you to become a minimalist monk who lives in a bare room with a single spoon. This isn't about never buying anything fun again. It's about making sure the things you buy actually make you happy in the long run, not just for the 5 minutes it takes to unbox them. It's about taking back control from the giant corporations and their armies of marketing PhDs who are working around the clock to separate you from your money. This little rule is your shield. It's your secret weapon in the fight for your own financial well-being and peace of mind. Your challenge is simple. For the next 30 days, I want you to try it. Commit to the 24-hour rule for every non-essential purchase over $20. Create your waiting list. Use the wish list feature. Practice walking away. See what happens. Keep track of all the things you almost bought. At the end of the month, look at that list. Add up the total cost. I promise you the number will shock you. It will be a stunning testament to the power of the pause. So go ahead. Try it. What have you got to lose? Except, of course, a whole lot of buyer's remorse.